Welcome to week 5. This week we're going to be doing photography, but you're also going to be signing up for your radio shows. Remember that you can always use the Digital Knowledge Center, or you can email me and figure things out either way. What we are going to be doing this week is telling stories in photos. You've been using photos in some of your daily creates and drawing skills, and you had some practice doing some visual stories in the Introduction to Storytelling week. But now we're going to go into deeper and giving you an opportunity to actually tell stories from a primary visual form and using different software to modify pictures. All our assignments this week come from the Digital Storytelling Bank, except for reflections, of course, and you'll be doing them in the visual assignment area over here with the camera. Make sure that you are using the writing up assignments. There's basically 3 parts to it: the work itself, telling the story behind, and narrating the process. That means you have to tell us how the photo was taken or gotten, how it was modified, and you want to also give us screenshots. On the bottom here of the writing up, how to write up assignments, there are examples of previous people doing good write-ups of their entire process. The one part that's not part of the photos is that you have to sign up for a radio show. You are going to, in a couple weeks, get together and create a radio show with 5 of your colleagues in the class. What you need to do is log on to Canvas and assign yourself to one of the groups. After you have gotten the group, somebody has to tweet this to me and include the hashtag DS106 Pollock. So this way I know that your group has been set. And you're going to have to make some time this week to get together to meet your group members and start thinking about what kind of what kind of radio show you want to produce. There are previous radio shows that we have here that want you. Sorry, I have here they come. All these are some of the radio shows that have been done in the past, and you might want to look at the different radio shows. This week, your commenting is going to make comments on the people that are in your group. So once you figure out your groups, then you are going to comment on your group members' blog. So that's your commenting responsibility for this week, is to actually get to know the group members by commenting on their blogs. Now we go back to how to be a better photographer. There is 10 ways to improve your craft. None of them involve buying gear. We have the ebook. Basically, we have the download. You can look at the download. We have a web-based collection on Storify of previous different things that we've assembled from previous different semesters. What you want to do is pick at least 3 tips from these resources and try them as you do your daily create, and as your other assignments this week. So take 3 different things that you really think are going to make you be a better photographer and apply them to your daily creates and any of your photography that you take this week. You're going to write a blog post towards the end of the week that summarizes the tips you tried. So specifically 3 you have to. You can do more, but 3. You're going to link and create for the tip. You're going to embed an example of a photo when you try the technique. So there are 3 different photos you're going to have to use, because 3 different tips, unless one photo has all 3 tips inside of there. Describe how you thought about this, or what approach or variation you tried. This is a reflection. So if you have unsuccessful ones and then you have a successful one, do the comparison. Take your photo that you're most proud of in terms of a new photo technique and write a summary blog post, and make sure you write a portion based on reflection of the material that you have read, watched, and listened to this week and also previous. You are going to do what's called photo blitzing. It's a 20-minute exercise. You need 20 minutes of uninterrupted time. You want to pick a place that is likely to have a lot of variety in subjects. Middle of town, campus, your basement. Some people have done their garage. Your photo is something that shows the current time. That's how you started. And then the next 20 minutes, you're going to try to capture as many photos on this list. Make an ordinary object look more interesting. Take a photo that makes use of converging lines. Take a photo that dominated by a single color. Take a photo, something of a unusual angle. Go through, try to get as many of these as you can. Take another photo of a timepiece that shows the time you would stop. It should be 20 minutes since step 1. Upload your 5 best photos to Flickr. Tag them as DS106 Photo Blitz. And then write a blog post about your experience. Describe the place you chose to do it in and why did you choose it. What was the experience like? What the photos worked for you best. Give feedback, suggestions via comment for 3 other people's photos. Remember that you can find all the photos that are tagged. If you do Photo Blitz URL, that's going to bring up everybody's photos that have done this over the last 6 years. Try to find people that you know in our class, or you can go to their links off of the DS106 page. A former student created a mobile web app developed by John Johnson's, and that can generate a photo blitz assignments whenever you want to do one. So you can also use this to go back and do use this as a way of doing the photo blitz also. You have to do 4 daily creates. I want you to upscale your Flickr on your accounts. So you've been using Flickr for a while, but we want to have more on your accounts with that. There is a Flickr Fun tutorial. Some cool things that you can do with Flickr. So I want you to do some different things with your Flickr. There's a follow-up tutorial by Norm Wright that has more things that you can do with your Flickr account. That's not it. Okay. You might want to put some of these into your blog. Okay. So I want you to do all these steps here to pimp up your Flickr. And the last thing that is required, make a best of set required. Write a blog post and see if you can figure out how to embed a Flickr set into your blog. That does not mean post each individual picture individually. You want to make a Flickr set. And you can do it as a collage. You can do it as a slideshow. Let's see how you can figure that out. Write about the reason why you selected those photos. Write about the story you are trying to say with them also. Then you're going to go into the visual assignments from the story bank. And you are going to do 3 assignments of at least 8 star worth of visual assignments. There is one required that everybody has to do, but then you get to pick the other ones. The one required is here. Find something in your house, take a picture, let your imagination churn, make as many different augmented versions as you can think of. So for example, if you look at this one here, this was basically I think it was a headband and 2 rubber bands. So you'll see, it should come up. Okay, here's another one. See, it has the rubber bandish or headband and 2 circle things. Oops. There's more. I know there was more. Here's one underground. Now notice that they use the things and then they add it using paint or using some kind of photo edit here. They made the fish and this looked like a jellyfish. Here they added, so it looks like an alien. Not really too sure what it is. Made a chicken out of it. Made a guy with glasses. Made a baby carriage. I think that's some superhero, but I'm not sure. Made some rainbows with clouds. This is the one required assignment that you have to do, and it's 3 stars. That means you have 5 stars left. With 2 assignments, you can go above 5 stars. You have to pick them through here. You can just try a random one, or you can go through. I've listed the ones that people have done in the past that seem to be very popular. For each of the individual assignments, you have to have an individual blog post. You must make sure that you tag them correctly. When you do the blog post, remember there are really 3 different components of the blog post. There is the media itself worth 30%. Then there is the story behind the media. Either it's leading up to it or it's sort of coming out of it. So there is a story in writing also. And then finally, there's 30% of how you create it. So step by step, how you create it. If you use pictures to show the creation process, screenshots, that is great. Or a video, excellent. And your title is worth 10%. So if you just copy the title that comes on, like if you say buddy photo, and then that's your title, that's not very creative and you're not going to get as many points. I showed you this once before. Make sure that you tell the story. This is 30%. The work itself is 30%. And then narrating the process is 30%. If you look at the blog post rubric, you'll see 30%, 30%, 30%, 10% is creative title that attracts interest as assignments. All the related media is embedded. Relevant and extra information provided via hyperlinks. That's how I grade in those. So you have a pretty large checklist this week. You have your join your radio show groups by Thursday at noon. Otherwise, I will put you in a group. And then you need to tweet it out to me, your group members. You need to give 2 comments to each person in your group. And then comment on at least 3 people's blog posts this week, other people. Review the suggestions for photography and pick at least 3 to try in context of doing the visual assignments this week. Then you're going to write a blog post showing the results of the 3 different techniques that you use. Either you're going to have 3 pictures that show 1 technique in each of the picture, or you're going to have 1 picture in that blog post that shows the 3 techniques that you tried. Then you're going to add your best photo of the week, and then what helped you out the most, and summarize it back. Make sure you reflect back to any of the readings or storytelling or any of the sound we have listened to. Make sure it is reflection. You have to complete a photo blitz activity in 20 minutes. You have to review the suggestions for spiffing up your Flickr page. You want to do 4 daily creates. You want to complete a minimum of 3 assignments worth at least 8 stars. 1 apophenia, which is required. That means you have 2 other assignments that would equal at least 5 stars. You can always go above that, but you can't go below it. And then you have to write up a summary of each your activity week. You don't need to repeat what you have written elsewhere in your blog. You just have to hyperlink to it. However, your blog summary must have a summary of the week. If you can't remember what's in a summary post, you go to weekly summary post up at the top, and it says to you, here's some questions and what we're looking for in that summary. Therefore, this week is all about photos and signing up for your radio shows. The radio shows have to be done by Thursday. Otherwise, I will sign you up to random groups. You sign up by going to Canvas. If you have any questions, write me at jenniferpollock@gmail.com or come by my office any morning, 8:30 to 10, Monday through Thursday. If those times don't work for you, we could try to work out another time that I can come talk to you. I teach from 10 to 12 each day.